One of the unique things about FortisAlberta is just the vast amount of geography that we cover in the province in terms of serving 240 communities across central and southern Alberta. So we do touch a lot of communities, and we spend a lot of time in our communities because our employees live and work there and want to contribute to the economic prosperity of those communities. So we spend a lot of time with local chambers and councils, and these municipalities have really advanced mandates. They want to be clean, they want to be smart, they want to attract jobs and investment to their communities. And as the grid, as the backbone to delivering electricity to these services that go behind that growth, we're there to provide safe and reliable electricity when those opportunities arise.
I think what an institution like Red Deer Polytechnic can provide, it can provide almost a bit of an introduction into the community, because we are an institution that's been 60 years in Red Deer. So I think there's a real synergy between that mindset of engaging and supporting community development. Fortis clearly has that interest and that intent, and Red Deer Polytechnic can be a natural partner to facilitate that.
I think both organizations are feeling just how exciting a time it is in central Alberta and how we both want to step up and support that through you providing that workforce and then us providing the grid behind it with all the innovation that we've developed together to kind of foster that growth.
Yeah, Central Alberta is going to be, I think, Alberta's next population
Very
center,
exciting.
right?
Very
We
exciting.
hear that, and we take that responsibility as a post-secondary institution really seriously in terms of the talent generation and the support that we need to provide to industry. We recognize that economic development and social development are critical for growth of communities, and I think companies like Fortis, understand their responsibility in terms of really supporting that as well as they meet their corporate objectives.
There's certainly an opportunity for both organizations to fill that opportunity that we see being brought forward by the residents, right? By the local communities who are sensing this exciting time, not quite sure what it means, but looking to you and to us for guidance as to how they can make the most of the opportunities in front of them.
Absolutely. And I think often companies and post-secondary institutions, they can be viewed as ivory towers. They can be viewed as organizations that sort of sit on the hill and just do their thing. And I think we're demonstrating that we recognize that we need to be a part of the community. We need to bring the community to us.
I think that's where local leadership is really powerful too, like you being present here and representing Red Deer Polytechnic in the local community and being accessible through you and the great team here at Red Deer Polytechnic. Much like at FortisAlberta, we are local, so we have a local board, we have local leadership. All the things that are being determined for the grid for local Alberta are happening locally. So I think between us, we're really creating that accessibility.
This year we launched our strategic plan, Productivity and Social Impact, and it was an important plan for us because it was our first plan as a Polytechnic, and it really represented our understanding, the understanding of our role to ensure that individuals, organizations, and communities are at their best. That's how we view productivity. Is about building people up and ensuring that individuals and organizations can be at their best. We do that through creating the conditions where we can have more investment in our communities, and also creating the conditions where we can bring newcomers into our communities that connect to the labor force need. Those are the ways in which we contribute to productivity as well as social impact. We know that when you have communities that are thriving and there's strong economic development, you're going to have also strong social programs, and we want Red Deer and Central Alberta to have that. And we know how important that is to Fortis. Fortis understands that this community needs to thrive, both economically and in terms of their social vibrancy.
Well, first, I'd like to commend the Red Deer Polytechnic staff and team for developing such a robust strategy. I think it demonstrates a level of forward thinking and commitment to the community that is really impressive. As the provider of an essential service with a grid that needs to grow and expand and employ technology, we have to be sure that we're doing the right things with our grid. We have to optimize the investments that we make to make sure that customers are getting the best value. And so we have to be really, really thoughtful about how we approach expansion of the grid to support growth and economic development, but also make sure we're doing it very prudently, using technology where it makes sense, and making sure that it does have a cost benefit at the end of the day for our customers, and has that right societal impact.
It needs to be practical, right?
Right.
It needs to be practical for your customers and for your citizens. And I think what we do at Red Deer Polytechnic is we allow Fortis to think about some things before it potentially gets into the hands of the customer, or before it's applied to the customer, so that we can help ensure that the solutions that you're providing to your customers are practical and are achieving your needs. And I think that's where this relationship, this partnership is so beneficial. Yeah. I think that it's important that institutions like Red Deer Polytechnic create what we call living labs, places where people, organizations, researchers, faculty, students can all engage together on the issues that need to be solved. A big part of that is ensuring that we are welcoming communities into our space. We do not want to be a closed institution where we just focus on one or two things. We want to be an institution that brings community to us.
We do spend a lot of time in our communities. As I said, our employees live and work there. We engage a lot with our municipal partners. So we do try to stay very, very connected. But the Living Lab gives us a real world space to test whether what we're sensing is happening in our communities is actually going to be able to be supported, and how we can approach it best and help them deliver success.
Yeah. The fact that we can try things together.
Absolutely.
You know, we can try things that some of it will work, some of it won't, but we can try it in an environment like this because it's a safe place. It's a safe place to try things, to see what works, and then ultimately for you and for Fortis, you can then take things out that are proven, that are validated, and that you can scale. And for us, we've learned some things. We put students in an environment, in a living lab, where they're engaging with a company like Fortis that's so generous towards our institution, and they can learn what's working and what's not. And hopefully those will be your workers someday. And they come with that attitude around, you know, how do we think creatively? How do we think in ways that are really about problem solving? That's a good workforce for our industry partners, and it's good for those students because they are coming out, really, really well equipped for the future of work.
Absolutely. And when your graduates go out into our communities and work with us, it really is a win-win. And I think it does bring a real credible stance to the things we're bringing when we can say we've partnered with someone as well advanced as Red Deer Polytechnic to say these are the things that the Polytechnic is telling us will work in your community. We've explored it with them, and now let's bring it to fruition.
Yeah, excellent.